right, let's dive in. Have you ever felt like you're just on this emotional roller coaster and you can't get off? Well, today we're going to talk about a really powerful way to understand and even start to steer those inner states. We're talking about the 10 worlds. I mean, let's start with something I think we all get. Have you ever had one of those days? You know, you wake up, you're feeling great, just on top of the world, and then one little thing, a frustrating email, you get stuck in traffic, whatever it is, and bam, suddenly you're spiraling down into anger or just total despair. It really feels like you're just being tossed around by things you can't control, right? A great way to think about it is like you have this inner weather system. You know, some days are sunny and clear, and other days are just stormy and completely turbulent. But here's the big question. What if you could do more than just get soaked by the rain? What if you could actually understand the forecast and maybe even learn to influence the weather inside you? Okay, so that's exactly where this map comes in. It's a map for that inner territory. It's a concept from Nichiren Buddhism, and it's called the 10 worlds. And what that means is there are 10 fundamental states of being that exist inside every single one of us, all the time. Now, this is a really important point. The 10 worlds, they aren't physical places. They're not somewhere you go after you die, like heaven or hell. Nope, they are dynamic, internal states that we all experience from one moment to the next. Everything from the deepest, darkest despair to the most incredible, profound joy. All of those potentials are literally inside you right now. So this framework kind of breaks them down into what we call lower and higher worlds. The lower worlds, they're really rooted in suffering. So think of hell, but not as a place with fire and pitchforks. Think of it as that feeling of being totally trapped, completely powerless. Or anger, you know, that state where you're just looking at everyone as a potential enemy. But then you have the higher worlds, which are all about empowerment. The world of Bodhisattva, for instance, is driven by this deep, genuine compassion to help other people. And then you have the highest state of all, Buddhahood, which is this condition of absolute freedom, wisdom, and a happiness that nothing can shake. Okay, and here is the absolute key insight, is this idea of mutual possession. What that means is that all 10 of these worlds coexist inside of us at the very same time. So even when you feel like you are in the absolute depths of hell, that life condition of Buddhahood is still there. It's just dormant, you know, waiting to be brought out. And that is an incredibly hopeful message. It means that no state is permanent. Your highest potential is always accessible, no matter what's going on in your life right now. So that leads to the next logical question, right? If all these states are already inside me, am I just supposed to sit here and watch my inner weather change? Or can I actually choose which world I want to experience? You know, how do we grab the rudder of our own ship and start steering toward those higher states of joy and purpose? Well, the answer lies in understanding this really fundamental principle of life itself. It's like the engine that drives this whole system. We're talking about the ultimate law, which is really all about the power of cause and effect. This quote here really nails it. The law of cause and effect isn't just some abstract philosophical idea. It is the force that is literally shaping your reality in every single moment. You could say that trying to find lasting happiness without understanding this law, well, it's like trying to navigate the ocean without a compass. You're just going to be lost. So this law of cause and effect is often called the mystic law. Now, why mystic? Well, because how it works is often really subtle and deep. But the practical side of it, it's incredibly simple and direct. It's this: if you want to change the effect, you know, your current life condition, that inner weather we were talking about, you have to first make a new, more powerful cause. You can't just wish for things to be different. You have to actively create the cause for that new reality to show up. So what is that fundamental cause? What's the specific action we can take to tap into our highest potential, like right now, in any moment? And that question, my friends, leads us directly to the practice. The fundamental cause is chanting this phrase, Namu-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, and let me be clear, this isn't a prayer to some outside god or a magic spell. It is something way more profound. So what does it even mean? Well, Namu-Myoho-Renge-Kyo is described as the name of the mystic law itself. So by chanting it, you are making the most direct cause possible to awaken your own highest state of being. You are in essence calling forth your own enlightenment from deep within your life. And what is so revolutionary about this practice is how accessible it is. You don't need to be a certain rank, you don't need a special robe, you don't need a priest to be an intermediary for you. No. This practice affirms your own dignity by letting you declare your own inherent potential with your own voice. It takes all this profound theory and makes it a practical daily tool you can use to change your life. And for anyone who's just starting out, listen, the most important thing isn't to have a perfect intellectual understanding of all this. The sources really emphasize that for beginners, it's about having sincere faith. That's the cause that really matters. So what actually happens when you start consistently making this new cause in your life? Well, the practice naturally leads to real, tangible effects. So let's talk about what it looks like to start living your highest potential and the kinds of results you can actually start to see. Okay, so this whole transformation process tends to unfold in a few key ways. First, you start to gain clarity and wisdom. Chanting is said to open up the wisdom of the Buddha that's already inside you, and it's described as this boundless light that helps you see your life and all its challenges from a totally new perspective. Second, the way you deal with problems, it just changes. Instead of being crushed by them, you start to see those daily struggles as fuel, really, as opportunities to grow and become stronger. And finally, you start to see what's called actual proof. And this isn't just a vague feeling. It's about seeing real, tangible, positive changes in your day-to-day life. And what does that actual proof really look like? Well, it shows up as these fundamental changes inside you. It's things like having the courage to face something you used to be terrified of. It's the clarity to make really wise decisions. It's this deepening compassion, not just for other people, but for yourself too. And ultimately, it's about building this deep sense of inner freedom and peace of mind that does not depend on whether things are going your way on the outside. You develop this stable, joyful core that can handle all the ups and downs that life is definitely going to throw at you. And this brings us to one last super important point. This practice is not about escaping reality. It is not about quitting your job, leaving your family, and going to meditate on a mountaintop somewhere. This quote here captures it perfectly. No affairs of life or work are in any way different from the ultimate reality. The whole point is to bring out your highest state right in the middle of the messy, beautiful, challenging reality of your everyday life, and to transform how you experience it from the inside out. So we end up right back where we started, with you and your inner world. The 10 worlds are in you. The law of cause and effect is always working, whether you're aware of it or not. And the power to create the fundamental cause for your own happiness, that lies within your own life. So the only real question left is, right here, right now, in this very moment, what cause are you going to choose to make? So you've started to see the actual proof. You've tapped into this indestructible core of courage, wisdom, and compassion. But here is the most profound and beautiful part of this entire philosophy. It doesn't stop with you. There is a foundational principle in this teaching called the oneness of self and environment. The simplest way to understand it is that your life is like a movie projector, and the world around you is the screen. If the film running in the projector is one of anger and despair, that is what you will see projected onto the screen of your reality, in your relationships, at your job, in your community. You will attract and create situations that reflect that inner state. But when you, through your practice, change the film in the projector to one of Buddhahood, of compassion, wisdom, and courage, the projection on the screen must change. It is a law of life. Your inner transformation is the direct cause for the transformation of your outer world. Think about it in your own life. Have you ever been in a tense meeting at work and one person's panic just makes everything worse? That's the world of anger creating more anger. Now imagine walking into that same meeting with a calm, unshakable confidence. You don't get swept away by the chaos. Instead, your stability becomes an anchor for everyone else. You change the outcome not by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. This is the true active meaning of the Bodhisattva world we talked about. It's not a passive sense of just being nice. It is the powerful vow to use your own transformation as the fuel to help others. When you manifest the wisdom of Buddhahood, you see solutions where others see dead ends. When you are filled with unshakable compassion, you can connect with people who seem unreachable. This is what's known as a human revolution. The idea that a single person's profound inner change is the most powerful engine for creating change in their family, their society, and ultimately the world. You don't have to wait for the world to change to be happy. You become happy, and in doing so, you begin to change the world. It is the ultimate expression of empowerment. It all begins with one person. It begins with you, right here, right now. Which world did you experience most today? Let me know in the comments. Now that you have the map, it's time to start the journey. Click the video on the left for a simple step-by-step guide on how to begin your daily practice called the Nichiren Gongyo Daimoku Chant and Readings for Beginners.